The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Danny Gibson here joining you with Dick Girardi. We're coming to you from Parks Racing, bringing you all the latest in horse racing and news from around the country. On today's show, we have special guest joining us, trainer Kate DeMasi, to talk about racehorse partnerships and how important they are. And all eyes are on 3-year-olds on the road to the Kentucky Derby with prep races in Aqueduct in the Withers, the Holy Bull at Gulfstream Park, and the Robert B. Lewis at Santa Anita. Dick, are we getting a clearer picture of these 3-year-olds?
I think we got a ways to go yet, Danny. We got the nominations have come in, the early noms, 312 of them, including 4 PA breds and a whole bunch of horses trained by Bob Baffert. Interesting. We'll see how that plays out.
Definitely want to talk more about that in a little bit, but let's get to some Parks local race. It was a good one. It was from Monday's 9th race, an allowance optional claiming with the $35,000 claiming tag, only 1 horse running with that, going 1 mile and 70 yards. $36,000 is the purse for Pennsylvania breds. Our post-time favorite, number 4, Splice, the main brace. Trainer Butch Reed gets Abner Adorno again.
I remember when this horse broke his maiden. Butch was always really high on this horse and had a pretty good career. 33 starts, 7 wins, 5 seconds, 5 thirds, almost $350,000 in earnings.
He's a nice horse, and second choice is that handsome gray Parsimony, that puzzle. Kendrick Carmouche does come down to ride him for trainer Danny Gargan.
Yeah, and anytime Kendrick and Danny Gargan appear at Parks together, you have to take them seriously.
Here's Chris Griffin with the call of our local race of the week.
Splice, the main brace, is a length and a half in front. Parsimony is looking for some clear running room. Down towards the inside is trapped there in that spot. Pink Silks is looking for room. Inspired Options, not giving up that spot, is still right there with that second place runner. Also, King Kumbale is progressing through the field, and here comes King Kumbale. Has run, is now tipping in between rivals, is chasing this leader. Jump for Alex is still wide, and the trailer, Hibachi, less than a half mile to go, 49 seconds flat, a half mile time for Splice, the main brace, who's still a length in front. Parsimony still crying out for room, and here comes Parsimony after this leader. King Kumbale has made that move, and here comes King Kumbale, is ready to challenge Splice, the main brace, who's only a neck in front now. King Kumbale has traveled well, is right to the outside. Splice, the main brace, had the easy fractions, a quarter mile left to go. Parsimony is down towards the inside, still looking for room. Splice, the main brace, has to deal with King Kumbale up on the outside, and King Kumbale means business. King Kumbale has run right by Splice, the main brace, who has to come back and is doing so. King Kumbale, Splice, the main brace, for a final 1/8 of a mile. Parsimony is trying to make up ground up on the outside. King Kumbale is drawing clear in the late stages. Splice, the main brace, not going anywhere. King Kumbale, Splice, the main brace. King Kumbale traveled well and got it.
Well, King Kumbala gets the win with jockey Luis Castro, who came back to Parks, and David Dugan was here. That kind of tipped me off, and he had that big win with Drafted last week at Aqueduct.
Yeah, wrong New York horse. That does happen sometimes, but certainly this horse had every reason on his best day to have a real chance to win.
Him and Splice have had kind of a nice little duel going. Last time Splice turned the tables on him, this time King Kumbala, but Luis was always loaded with horse, and this is a big, big horse. I'd say 17 hands.
Yeah, you can see on the backstretch this horse can be very difficult to beat.
Well, it's time for us to get to our first break. When we come back, we're going to have trainer Kate DeMasi. We're going to dive right into those Kentucky Derby prep races on national coverage. Stick around. Let's Go Racing. We'll be right back.
The 11 3-year-olds are heading for the Aqueduct backstretch, and it is the favorite. Early voting.
Did you know the Pennsylvania horse racing industry spends tens of millions of dollars supporting agriculture? From local farmers and farm workers to veterinarians and more. And we do it with 0 tax dollars while creating tens of thousands of jobs.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
And they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
jobs,
And billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Here we have special guest joining us, trainer Kate DeMasi. And Kate, everybody's very familiar with you. You've been here a long-time trainer here at Parks, and you also have a string at Penn and Monmouth, and you do so much in the thoroughbred industry. But one thing you and Greg have been really successful with is your partnership with Pewter Stable. Why is that something that's so great for someone to get involved that maybe doesn't have a lot of experience owning thoroughbreds?
Well, for one thing, you can share the expenses with a lot of other people. And on top of that, you kind of get a learning curve if you haven't been in the business. And a lot of our owners have gone on to, own horses, in their own stables now. So it's a great opportunity to not have to bear the brunt of all that cost of owning a racehorse.
Kate, how do you get involved in Pewter Stable?
We have a website. You can go to pewterstable.com. It's got a lot of information on there, and you can call Greg. It's got his number right on there, so you can always talk to him and, get the lowdown.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this game is sometimes you can have the little guy can hit it big. With Cinnabunny, you certainly hit it big with Cinnabunny.
Yeah, and that's another thing I just wanted to say. I have to thank all the breeders that have sent me horses that are breeder owners, because they are the backbone of our racing here. And, it takes a long time to get a young horse to the races, to raise and breed it. And hats off, breeding season opening right now. So it's a great program, and we do target a lot of Pennsylvania breds, and like the filly that won yesterday was a horse that we had bought as a yearling at the sale, so targeting PA breds.
And speaking of PA breds, we had Donnie Brown, who was the co-owner of Just One Time, who went down to Gulfstream Park. Won a grade 2. It's a great story. They're going to try for the Madison, a grade 1 at Keeneland in April on Bluegrass Day. And I wrote about it for Let'sGoRacingParks.com this week. So it just takes one, Kate.
It just takes one. And I even go back to the days of when Mr. Levy had bet twice, and there was one, right?
Oh, my Lord. My first Kentucky Derby for the paper. And boy, what a day that was, because I sat in the box with Bob and his whole crew. I didn't watch the race. I watched them. And that's what I wrote, was the reaction of them watching their horse run second in the Derby.
Yeah, that was a great, again, a lot of people were involved with that.
No, my Lord. There was
So-
the famous bumper sticker, honk if you own Bet Twice, because literally everybody that Bob Levy knew had a piece of Bet Twice.
Yeah. Well, he offered it to all his friends,
Of course, and he had millions of them.
Yeah.
And the Pennsylvania breds, you've done so well with them, and you stand a sire here too, Winchell. And not only do you stand a stud, you breed, you pinhook, you go to sales. Pewter Stable's been in a lot, and I feel like you give your owners a lot of different avenues too. Like if a horse doesn't work out here, maybe they'll do better at Penn or Monmouth. And what's that like?
Well, it's really great having the opportunity to be able to take a horse that isn't maybe thriving down here and be able to send it to Penn, and maybe it gets new life. We've had that happen a few times, so that's a great thing. And yeah, Winchell he's got 2-year-olds coming this year. So, he kind of had a lull a couple years in between, but I'm looking forward to seeing those babies race.
And You Must Chill has done amazing. He won the Alphabet Soup, and he just had 2 back-to-back wins, and he's been a really nice horse by Winchell.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that more are going to be popping out as 2-year-olds, and, we have yearlings in the pipeline as well, so.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us, and we always are rooting for those Pewter Stable horses, and everyone knows Kate's my idol, but I wanted to really thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, and happy Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get into our national coverage brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. Check them out. If their emblem's not on the back of your car or truck, you did pay too much. And our national race of the week is the Grade 3 Withers up at Aqueduct. $250,000 on the line for 3-year-olds, going a mile and 1/8. And the favorite is early voting 6-5 trainer Chad Brown.
Chad Brown on a rare hot streak, really. Chad Brown winning a lot of races in a row. This horse had only broken his maiden and is the favorite in a graded race.
And Raymond Handel with our second choice. Constitution Lawyer gets Jose Lezcano 5-1 second choice.
Yeah, and this horse has run some pretty solid races. Took a while to get to the maiden win, but when he did, he was really good. And we have the two Parks horses in here, of course, Danny. Smarten Up is the 3, Freddie Velasquez, second in the Jerome, trying to move forward. And we also have another Parks horse in here. No Need to Worry. Is that how we're saying this? I can't stand these long one-word names.
Make it confusing.
No Need to Worry. Harold Wiley, another horse from Parks, trying to withers.
Yeah, and Ruben picks up the mount for Cavassier, and we'll see. Well, here is the call of the withers.
The 11 3-year-olds are heading for the Aqueduct backstretch, and it is the favorite, Early Voting, who leads here by 1.5 lengths. Courvoisier is in second, the opening quarter mile in 23 and 2/5 seconds. Constitution Lawyer sits in third, about 4.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's another 2.5 to Grantham, who's running in fourth. Unbridled Bombers down on the inside in fifth. Then comes Cook Creek and Mr. Jefferson, a 5-length gap back to a Gilded Age. Half mile in 48 seconds. Early Voting setting the pace here and leading by a little more than 2 lengths. Courvoisier remains in second as the field now heads for the far turn. Early Voting moves up by 3 lengths now. Courvoisier is next in second. Grantham is on the extreme outside and gaining some ground from third. Then Mr. Jefferson, followed by Unbridled Bomber, who is dropping back. Cook Creek, Gilded Age now makes his move on the extreme outside. But Early Voting has now built a 6-length lead. Ran 3/4 in 1:14.1. Grantham moving into second. Gilded Age is on the outside. It is Early Voting with the lead in the stretch. Early Voting in front now by 8 lengths. Gilded Age on the outside takes second, and Grantham is next in third. It is Early Voting who is isolated here. A late move here from Gilded Age. Grantham, and towards the inside, Unoho. It is Early Voting who was on top right from the start, and Early Voting wins the Withers wire to wire.
Well, Early Voting was in a race by himself, gets the win with jockey Jose Ortiz. Now I'm kind of thinking that's why Jose Ortiz got off Cavassier.
Yeah, he knew something. Early speed and gone. I mean, this race really was over by the first turn. Early Voting only a 78. I don't know that he's a contender for anything more beyond the Withers. We'll see. As far as the Parks horses, Danny, I mean, Smarten Up just never really fired. Got beat 12 lengths, and No Need to Worry. Kind of similar. Maybe ran a little better, but just, they also got beaten 11 lengths. So you wonder if they'll continue on the trail at this point.
I'll let you know, I did talk to Freddie yesterday.
Yeah.
He said pretty much when Smarten Up broke, he walked away from the TV. He knew his chances were done
he
then.
was done. Yep.
Harold, on the other hand, was really pleased with No Need to Worry. They're going to go up and take a shot again.
All right.
Well, I don't know where that next start is, but they're headed back to New York, they said.
You know what? Go for it. It's just going to have to improve dramatically because, frankly, I don't think the winner is good enough to be on the trail, much less the horses behind him, but we'll see.
Well, Early Voting, a nice son of Gunrunner. We'll see where he ends up next, but it's time for us to head to Gulfstream Park. It's the Grade 3 Holy Bull for 3-year-olds going 1.16 miles, $250,000 purse on the line. Our favorite is Mo Donegal, top pletcher. We've spoke about him a lot. He gets Irad Ortiz.
Right, we saw him in the Remsen. That was the should he have been disqualified or should he have not. Remember, Irad was in the middle of all that craziness up there, but he did win the Remsen, and it is Todd Pletcher, and he's only down to 38% at Gulfstream Day.
Tiz the Bomb gets second choice for Kenny McPeak. He's going to take his try on dirt. Brian Hernandez Jr., the rider.
I was a little surprised this horse was the second choice, frankly. I mean, why would you think this horse is going to run well in the dirt? I mean, he's a turf horse. His only dirt start was terrible. However, the bettors decided that they liked him. The off the turf was a good win, but I'm not saying it, Danny.
Well, here is the call with Pete Ayala of the Gulfstream Park Holy Bull.
Galt, who settled in up front. He leads 3/4 of a length. White Barrio flanks him and races from second. 2.5 clear of Giant Game, who's now up into third. At the rail, Cajun's Magic is there. Fourth is Mo Donegal, angles to the clear. Tiz the Bomb is in the clear already. Outside of him in Simplification. Eloquist is toward the rail and still held up at the back. Is spin wheeled. The quarter time was 23-4. They race to the half-mile point. It's still Galt in front. He leads a half a length after a 47 1/2 mile. From the outside, White Barrio's had a good trip. He's racing in second. Cajun's Magic is together with Giant Game third and fourth. Up to the outside, Simplification has Mo Donegal bottled up. 3 back to Spin Wheel, who gets started outside of Tiz the Bomb. Eloquist drops to last as they round the far turn. They race to the first finish line here with White Arborio now even with Galt at the 5/16. From the outside, Simplification is next. Giant Game not firing his fastball today. Mo Donegal's going to need to do a ton better than that. He's warming to the task, but he's 6 lengths off the lead, and that lead is held by White Arborio. Off the turn on the stretch drive, White Arborio working with the short stretch. He's 3 on top. Simplification is running a huge race. He's up on the outside trying to get into second, but the Holy Bull goes to White Arborio with authority.
White Arborio gets the win with his perfect trip. He also got the best turned out award, so it was a good day for White Arborio.
He was really impressive. I thought Simplification was a hard luck second. Figured to be up near the lead. Danny missed the break, came running, but White Arborio was good. 97 buyer, and Safi Joseph said after the race he had missed 2 works. This horse had gotten sick. He didn't expect this kind of a performance, so to move forward to figure next Florida Derby and then on to Kentucky. But I think this horse is a contender. We'll see how much of a contender after the Florida Derby.
Absolutely. He also got the perfect trip. Mo Donegal had nowhere to run.
Yeah.
I mean, I read when he did get him out, he was flying for third. I think if he had more clear running, he would have been. He would have given White Arborio a run for his money.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Mo Donegal, you can put a line through that race. I think he's clearly better than that, given the trip that he got, and he was the one running at the finish. We'll see if they go a little longer. That might be a good thing. I mean, he's by Uncle Mo, who's done rather well as a side.
Absolutely. Well, it's time for us to head out to Santa Anita. It's the Grade 3 Robert B. Lewis Stakes for 3-year-olds going a mile and 16th. And our favorite is Messier for Bob Baffert, Johnny Velasquez. We see them teaming up a lot these days.
Yeah, and Messier, of course, named after the great hockey player Mark Messier, won many Stanley Cups with Edmonton, then came one guaranteed one with the Rangers back in the day. And they always had high hopes for this horse, Danny. Been a little bit of a disappointment, but it is Baffert, and he is the favorite, and he does have the rail, and he does have speed.
Sir London getting second choice for Simon Callahan. Flavian Pratt, he's no slouch at 7-2.
Yeah, it's interesting. Similar running style as Messier, so who's going to make the front? How's the race going to be run?
Yeah, and there's 3 other horses in the race.
Good luck to that.
Here's the call to Robert B. Lewis.
They move on to the backstretch, and it's the favorite Messier leading it by a neck. Sir London between horses and Cabo Spirit continues a 3-wide journey. Now it's about 4 lengths back to Wharton past the 5/8 pole, and Happy Jack is inside of him. The Robert B. Lewis Stakes field passes the half-mile pole, still 3 of them across the track. It's Messier at the rail, now starting to try and shake loose. He's put 3/4 of a length on Cabo Spirit. Sir London has lost some ground, now 2 lengths behind Messier. Still a big gap, at least 5 lengths more back to Wharton, and Happy Jack inside of him. They have a 1/4 mile to run, and Messier is in command. Cabo Spirit 1.5 lengths behind, and the others are well back as Messier turns it on at the top of the stretch, and he is making his mark on the 3-year-old crop. It's Messier putting on a dazzling display, opening up by 10, by 12. Messier all alone in the Robert B. Lewis Stakes.
Messier was in a race by himself, winning by 15 lengths. He just towered over those horses.
So this was the performance of the winter so far by the 3-year-olds. 103 buyer figure. Baffert's been experimenting, blinkers on, blinkers off. Well, the blinkers came off. Johnny V came on, and this horse was really good. But there's always the big but, right? What happens? We still don't know. They haven't had the hearing yet. It was postponed. It was supposed to be last Monday. Now it's supposed to be this Monday in Kentucky on the Medina Spirit thing. Right now, Baffert is still persona non grata at Churchill. This is nuts. You know, one thing that's liable to happen, it's liable to be the greatest Preakness in history, Danny.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because all these Baffert horses that apparently are not going to be able to go to Churchill, they're going to show up at Pimlico. So, and the Derby winner, whoever that might be. It's crazy. It's 2022 Baffert mania.
It really is.
Except he can't run the Derby today. He can't.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's February. We're getting closer. Well, it's time for us to head to another break. When we come back, we're going to have our jockey and trainer of the week, plus more races and race recaps. Stick around. Let's Go Racing. I'll be right back.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our jockey and trainer of the week is brought to you by Turning for Home, our proud racehorse retirement program right here at Parks Racing. Been going strong for 12 years now, very proud of that. And our jockey of the week is Sylvester Gonzalez. This is a name we're going to hear a lot this year.
Big fan, like everything about Sylvester. He's getting better and better, and he's good. Better horses, and he's winning a lot.
Well, he just passed Ruben in the standings for leading rider.
What? Really?
Yes.
I didn't think that was possible to pass Ruben in the standings.
He did so. It's going to get really interesting, but everyone's going to have to pay attention, see what happens there. And our trainer of the week is Jordan Bullock. Have to give it to Jordan. He took over for Donnie White.
Yep.
He was his longtime mentor, and Jordan's doing a really good job. And Malibu Anthem was a horse that was Donnie White's last win, and Jordan just won with her.
Yeah,
so
it's a great story, and Chris Griffin did a really nice interview with Jordan about his relationship with Donnie. So it's something, check it out on YouTube or wherever it is.
Absolutely. Well, it's time for us to get to some race recap. We're going to head right to Gulfstream Park. It was the Grade 3 Swale, going 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds sprinting, and keep your eye on the number 5. In Dream's going to get the lead here.
Yeah, In Dreams is going to get the lead. The problem is they're going to come after In Dreams, and My Prankster, the one for that man, Todd Pletcher, kind of a bad post, had to come swinging outside, comes rolling late, My Prankster to get up just in time.
Yeah, nice son of Into Mischief gets Luis Saez, who has just been literally moved up so much since him and Kieran teamed up.
Yeah, he's having a great run. He won't be the Eclipse Award winner. By the way, they were just announced. We'll have all those results for you next week, but yeah, Luis is really good.
Awesome. And heading back to Santa Anita, it's the Grade 2 San Pasquale Stakes, going a mile and an eighth, $200,000. And this race was so thrilling for me, Express Train.
Yeah, Express Train was interesting, Danny. He had a very nice year last year, including San Diego, the Gold Cup. He ran third. He ran really well in all those races. This might be his best race ever. He had just come off of Hot Rod Charlie, beating Hot Rod Charlie. This time he's powering away from these horses in the stretch. 101 buyer, right up near his career top. Express Train for John Sheriff, be a factor in the handicap division all year long.
Yeah.
With your man Victor.
My buddy Victor, can never count him out. And it's really cool to see Express Train. He won this race last year, and there's a really neat picture of John Sheriff and Victor kind of congratulating each other after the win, and you just feel that emotion. Well, let's head back to Aqueduct at the Big A. It's the $100,000 Jimmy Winkfield Stakes, 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds. You're going to see some familiar names in here.
Yeah, Beast or Famine is the one for Penny Pierce, sitting 4th early in the race. Is going to make a little bit of a run. Dance Code just got off so poorly at the start for Juan Vasquez and Dexter Haddock. Really unfortunate. Kind of eliminated, but Morello is going to win this thing and win it easy. But the 5-horse for that man, Steve Asmus.
Yeah, this horse is going to head to the Gotham next. Really nice horse. He's 2 for 2. Made that sustained run. I did talk to Juan yesterday about Dance Code. I said he just didn't look like the same horse. He didn't even look like he was handling the track. He said he did miss some training with the weather down here.
Yep.
That did affect him. And he said after the break and him getting the dirt, it took all shot out.
Yeah, no, he's better than that, and I think he'll show it, given another chance.
Me too. Well, it's time for Ion Racing, and there's a few more races with Kentucky Derby points on the line for 3-year-olds. My old stomping grounds at the Bay Area, the El Camino Real Derby.
There you go. We love that El Camino Real at Golden Gate.
We do, and big day for my buddy Jason Beam down at Tampa Bay Downs in the Grade 3 Sam F. Davis.
Yeah, that's the prep for the Tampa Bay Derby, and we're getting to this is like the second group of prep races, and then we'll get to the big ones toward the end of April.
It's starting to get exciting, though. Well, it's time for us to head to our final break. When we come back, news and notes. We'll be right back here on Let's Go Racing.
Did you know the Pennsylvania horse racing industry provides health care and pensions for thousands of workers who in turn spend their income supporting local communities? And we do it with zero tax dollars while creating tens of thousands of jobs. Did you know absolutely no taxpayer dollars support the Pennsylvania horse racing industry? In fact, racing generates $1.6 billion that pays taxes, creates jobs, and more, right here in Pennsylvania.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America. But we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our news and notes is brought to you by the Granny Fund, which provides continuing education for our backstretch community. And big news, right, Dick?
Yeah, 312 early Triple Crown nominations. Danny, you put up 600. Then the people that want to nominate late, you put up 6,000 on March the 28th. And interestingly, Echo Zulu, as I think was predicted on this show not that long ago, is one of 6 fillies who's nominated. Steve Asmussen has not won the Derby. He's won every big race there is. I would not be shocked to see her get on that trail. He hasn't said that, but the fact that she's nominated is interesting to me. Todd Pletcher leads all nominations. I know you'll be surprised. With 42, Brad Cox 26, Chad Brown 23, Asmussen 20, and Baffert, as I said, with 18. But right now he can't go in the race. But in Churchill's press release, they mentioned Baffert. They mentioned that Corniche, who's going to be the 2-year-old champ, is nominated. But then they mentioned that he can't run at Churchill. So it's weird. 250 Kentucky breds, that's 80%. And 4 of our Pennsylvania breds are nominated to the Kentucky Derby.
I mean, that's a lot of horses for one trainer. I would love to just see some kind of underdog get in there this year. I was hoping a Parks horse. But...
Well, Parks horses have won before. I think, what was that horse's name?
Smarty Jones. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to have some stakes right here at Parks. We're going to have a Parks March Madness with some really cool names. It's March 7th, 8th, and 9th. 7 $100,000 stakes, 8 starter handicaps, bigger purses on the overnight stake or overnight races, and we might need some color commentary from you, DJ.
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's the week that the college basketball season has just ended. We're starting the tournament, so yeah, Parks Madness comes in at just the right time. And look, if what happened after Christmas is any indication the way people bet on those 3 days right after Christmas, hopefully the same thing will happen here on that first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of March.
Oh, well, I'll be giving out some picks. Danny's pick, check it out on Let's Go Racing Parks website. And don't forget, every Saturday we're on Sirius. I'm going to be on today at 11 a.m. It's channel 85 on Down the Stretch. Good time talking parks.
Bill Finley, Dave Johnson, and Danny makes her debut today.
I do. Well, it's time for me and Dick to get out of here, but thank you so much for joining us. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Post time is 12:25. We look forward to seeing you next week on Let's Go Racing.